The ex-housekeeper, Allison Jeff.
Welcome to another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss, and this is Inside Scoop, and I don't know what's going on with Alex's mic right there, but hopefully it sounds better in a little bit. What's up, man?
Does it sound okay? How's it sound?
It's just not how it usually is.
Oh,
It was
okay.
fine when we were just talking, and then of course, yeah. What's up, guys? It is Jeff Doss. It is Inside Scoop.
I'll check some settings.
And we have a huge episode. We are reviewing the Diamond Nationals recap, which both of us were at, and very heavily involved. Either competition, judging, coaching, all of the above. So it's going to be a huge show, and I hope you guys are tuning in, sharing. Make sure you share and show everybody. Tag your friends that you want to see this. Put them in the comments. Also, guys, make sure that, again, you're sharing it, but tag all the winners. Tag your favorite moments. Tag those people, your friends, so that way we all know what's going on, all right? So, and they know what's going on and what to watch. So, going to be a epic episode. Share in all your groups, your favorite groups, and we're going to have a huge night tonight. So, So, as you can tell, we are going to talk about Diamond Nationals recap. This was a huge event. We are sponsored by the Virtual Fight Tour, and we are thankful for all they have done for the Martial Arts Center Network, Inside Scoop, and Sport Karate. And man,
how's my sound right now, Jeff? How's my sound?
It's all right. It's doable.
Is it better?
So, yeah, it's better now. Yep. So now,
okay,
Alex,
okay, good.
We were both at Diamond Nationals. We both got there Thursday, and you were there judging. You're also there watching and enjoying. I was there teaching, coaching, and of course competing.
You were doing everything.
I judged a little bit, but not too much. And I was in the finals. I was kind of all a part of it, as well as you. You were in the finals as well. If you did not check out the finals, go watch the finals, and you can see Alex in his pink jacket. So,
why is that such a topic of conversation? And it's salmon, by the way.
Salmon.
I didn't think. I just wanted to wear a nice looking jacket. Didn't think John Worley was going to call it out 3 different times. Although,
yeah,
he said he liked it. That's just an endorsement. I'll take it.
John Worley's the man. We love John Worley. Salmon. Yeah. There we go. Wow. Yes, your mom is right. Listen, thanks, I was not paying attention, and plus I'm colorblind, so I don't know. But
I keep forgetting that you struggle with some colors.
And then some people were that told me pink were ones that were watching it at home, and maybe they had different settings that made it look like that, right?
Listen, if it looked bad, maybe I just don't wear it next. Well, I can't wear it again to any other tournament now. It's like branded now. It's like one of those things where like it's like the red carpet, like you pretty much have to throw it away, like you can't ever wear it again. Apparently that's what this jacket is. Didn't expect that to happen. But it's all right. We got a lot to talk about. But this is once again, Jeff, the same type of thing. We mentioned it last week when Andrew Cabellon was on. We saw him there as well. How crazy is that? But we know more about what's going on at the tournament, and we communicate more when we're not at a tournament, or at least when one of us isn't, mainly me, all right, than if we're both at the tournament, all right? We hung out on Thursday, and we hung out for I don't know, 15 minutes on Friday and 15 minutes Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it. Like at the end of the night. And I'm gonna tell you what, you and I are getting old, man. Like it's not the same. All right, like listen, I stayed up.
I got a story about that too.
I stayed up and watched everybody act crazy. But honestly, man, the highlight of my night was sitting and getting my White Castle. Okay, getting my White Castle. All right.
You got White Castle and didn't tell
I
me.
did. I mean, listen, I got hungry. All right. So, yeah.
But you got, oh man,
I got
Slider Gold is what you got.
I did. All right. Let's see. Richard Rogers said, Alex working hard this weekend as a judge. We're showing off the guns from the polo. They have to introduce testing on officials. That's hilarious. Yes, exactly. That was the other thing my mom said too. She said he wasn't wearing socks. What the heck?
I was wearing socks. You guys don't understand. I did not think that this fashion would be such a topic of conversation. Yes, there was socks. They're called no-show socks. They're there.
Yes.
All right. I'm not about to stink my shoes
but
up.
Not when you wear capri pants. You know what I mean? It's a little different. You know. So.
I wear those socks all the time. I wear them all the time. But anyway, we're gonna continue. We've got more important things to talk about than my socks.
Okay. This is the best. Thank you. And I love you, Troy Sexton. It was great hanging out and talking to you, buddy.
Troy is and I want to end it on this and then go right into the recap. Troy has an uncanny ability to Irish goodbye people at like the most random times. I'll not forget this. I'm hanging out and we're just this Saturday night, and this is old man hangout where you're just hanging out and you realize we've been hanging out and nobody has had a drink and everybody's just yawning, but we're just here waiting.
Yeah.
And we're like, man, I think I'm going to be the first one to leave. And I look around and Troy is apparently left like 40 minutes ago. And I'm like, and I'm not even mad, not even upset. In fact, I was jealous. Like,
right.
I can't just get up and leave because now there's fewer people. It's going to be more noticeable. So
exactly,
he's very good at that. Okay, we got to get into this.
All right.
There's so many things. Do you know where you want to start?
Well, let's start from I like doing because we don't want to miss the important things, right? So let's go with the big winners. Let's go with the big winners. You know, like let's talk about the Diamonds winners. Let's start opposite in there because a lot of times what happens is that the people who did the best, we don't really notice and talk about as much because we have 5 minutes left and we got to rush, right? So the big winners of the night, man. So let's start with the three-time. Well, there was 2 3-time winners, and let's talk about Kevin Walker, who won the men's open weight. What? No. What?
Terrell Walker.
Oh, sorry, Terrell
Walker. Kevin Walker has now rebranded himself. He is Terrell.
And it was
amazing because I see it. And for his division, I think I was the center ref. And I'm like, Kevin, you got to check in. And he goes, yeah, I'm number 5. And I'm looking for a Kevin. And I don't see nothing. And I'm like, no, Kevin, are you in a different weight class? He goes, I'm 5. And I see Terrell Walker. And I go, wait, are you Terrell? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, who the hell's Terrell? And he goes, my middle name. All the cool kids do it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he goes, Avery does it. You don't say nothing. I'm like, it's a good point. It's actually got a pretty good point. All right. You're Terrell.
Oh, man.
Okay.
So, Kevin Walker was on fire this weekend, man. And, winning his 3rd diamond ring, but also not just that, like for the lightweights, but also winning the open weight, right? And here's the deal. In the open weight, I'm just going to tell you, he was on the hardest side of the bracket.
Yeah.
There was a really big difference on the 2 sides of the bracket. I'm just going to say it. Because I was watching one side, and on the other side,
I was center refereeing the other side.
Yes.
So you're right. I don't know how this worked out that way. But let's get to that. You know what? No, we're already talking about it. We're deep into that. Yeah. I do want to talk about this men's open weight because you're right. It was crazy. All right. All the heaviest hitters were on one side, and not that there wasn't on the other,
No,
because
there's
who
some good
came
ones.
out? Who came out of the other side? Who did?
Enrique came out on the other side. Yep.
Enrique came out on the other side, which was great. But you know what's funny is when you get a division like that, and you get guys like let's say Enrique Latona and and I don't know, Luis Nunez fight first round without a bye. You're like, wow,
Wow, yeah.
Coming in hot. And then you get two cheeseburgers that like they don't even know that they don't know fight in the first round. You're like, I mean, I always kind of feel a little like I kind of feel different about that because I feel like, I mean, all right, I guess at least they didn't get completely destroyed like in their first round. Like one of them who, gets beat, at least he's going to feel like maybe I had a shot. And then the other ones at least want to fight. So that happened. But then there was another scenario. Maybe you're right. I know there was buys. No, there was seeds. There's seeds.
There's seeds. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. There's seeds for open weight, but not all of them take them though.
They didn't.
Right.
There was some that took them, but then it's still random. It's still just random. What are you gonna do?
Right.
But then here's what was funny. So we had a couple first round cheeseburger fights, like cheeseburger on cheeseburger. And again, if you guys don't know what that means, those are guys, they just don't even know that they don't know. They're gonna get beat. Okay. So 2 cheeseburgers fight. And then one of them moves on to fight another cheeseburger who had a bye.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what did this craziness end up with? Right. And then you probably got like a first round matchup of like Brian Rodriguez and Cam Dawson on the other side of the bracket. And you're like, what is going on? Right. Yeah. So now we're moving on to the third round and a cheeseburger has to win.
Yeah.
Right. Like, what is going on? And now I want to bring up this one fight specifically because I saw this person again and reffed him again the next day, and I didn't hold back, and he didn't like it, but I was very, very loud. So what happened?
Here we go.
Is there was a guy, and I want to say his name. All right. His name might have started with a T and might have ended with a Y and rhymes with boy, but anyway. Anyway, he's fighting and he's very talented, he's very skilled, but in no way would I call him a fighter because he didn't want to fight. He wanted to win. And he has skills, but he actually didn't want to engage in fight and he drove everyone nuts. He spent more time not fighting than fighting. So he would just stop and I would go, okay, that's your foot pad. You do this again, I'm going to give them a point, right? If it's for the foot pad.
Right.
So he tried to use gamesmanship and would like all right, well, I can't use the foot pad thing again. So he kicked me in my hamstring. So he goes down and I'm counting to 10 and I go, I'm going to count to 10 and you're either taking a medical timeout or I'm saying go. And I'm counting to 10. And then of course, by the time I get to 9, he goes, all right, I need a medic. So I get the medic. And then the next time it was like, I got kicked in the nuts, right? I'm like, you didn't get kicked in the nuts. And I go, all right, I'm going to call for a medic right now, or I'm saying go. All right. And the next time you do this, you're either fighting or you're not fighting. So he wins this fight. This is against the cheeseburger. Okay. So he goes on to fight one. Now he's won one match. So he goes on to fight and he's winning. And he gets, oh no, I'm sorry. I'm remembering this wrong. So in that fight versus cheeseburger, he gets defensive sidekicked right in the mouth. Okay.
Yeah. That's right.
I actually felt really bad for him. And I wanted to I wanted to have the authority to say, you can't fight. Because there was everything textbook about it. Like you should never fight. Right. For like a couple of months.
It looked like some issues. Yeah.
Oh, Jeff, he got sidekicked straight in the mouth. He was blitzing and had no guard. He was just back fisting. So he just laid himself out there and then just got sidekicked in the mouth, took 2 steps, threw up, right? then falls face first right past his throw up and just laying on the ground. So I'm like,
it was bad.
He might be dead, right?
He might be dead.
So
Yeah,
I get the medic. I'm like, Steve, come look at this guy. Make sure he's got a pulse. All right. Meanwhile, I'm like, we got to do something about these mats because he threw up on these 2 mats. So I just flipped the mats over. All right. Is everybody good with this? All right. We're good with this. So Steve's like, yeah, he passed the concussion protocol. And I'm like, in what world? In what world?
How
are we okay with this? Just look at his eyes. He doesn't know what month it is, right? This is not okay. And he goes, he passed it. I don't know what to tell you. And I'm like, so go to his coach. Like, you sure you want to do this? Yeah. I want to do this. Yeah. So he barely wins. He goes in the next fight. He does not win. Yeah. Right. The next day, I'm going to stay on this guy. Right. The next day, he goes on and he's fighting. I think it's welterweight, right? Maybe it's light welter. It's one of those. And he's doing the same thing, skilled, but not fighting. He's just the art of fighting without fighting is essentially what he's trying to do, right? Competing without fighting, right? So rather than, go through everything he did, I'll just go to fast forward to the very last thing. He's losing by like 2. He just sees this guy in the corner. He he just goes for it. And his guy just angles and he just lays on the ground outside of the ring. He knows what the time is. And he basically just wanted me to stop the clock. Right. So his coach is like, stop the clock. And I'm like, for what? And he goes, because he's injured. I'm like, he's not injured. Nobody touched him. He's laying on the ground. And he goes, it's because he's hurt. And I'm like, no, he's making a personal choice to lay on the ground. That's his personal choice. Now, mind you, I'm screaming this at the top of my lungs. I am screaming this, right? Because he's screaming back at me. Enough. Yeah. So I'm going to give it to you. So I'm screaming at him like this is his personal choice, right? And then he loses. And he's like, but he was hurt. And I'm like, well, have fun being hurt. He has all the time in the world to get healed up now because he's not fighting. Wow. So, not like he was doing a whole lot of fighting during the fight anyway. But anyway, that was really, and listen, we got that out of the way. That was really one of my only gripes for the tournament. This was a fantastic tournament. I want to tell everybody.
It really was.
Fantastic.
It really was. This was a huge improvement, I think, from last year. They took a lot of the things that that they said that like complaints, that we all complain about. Hey, why are we in 3 different rooms? Can you at least put the black belts in the 2 rooms that are close to each other, not the room with all the underbelts. Right. They did a lot better job of that. None of us were over there. They took out all the seats that were there and put 2 rings there. Right. So we had 7 rings in one room and then 2 in the side room, the small room. And we kept the same age group in that pretty much the whole time, which was just nice, So it worked out really well. I thought overall, and it ran really smooth. We ran on time. Overall was a great experience. From talking to Moshi with Juventex, it was actually bigger as well than last year too, especially on the underbelt side. So overall, it was just a great turnaround. Of course, there's going to be complaints and things, but I think overall that was good.
You know what I heard?
Are we getting back to the
about that? Jeff, is I heard like a lot. I heard people say this. That I know, Mom, the Vikings are winning. This is fantastic. Let's go, purple.
Yes,
look
at
I'm repping.
That was the same thing.
And repping third shift DJs at the same time. But anyway, no, I heard a lot of people saying that they hope we go back to St. Paul, and I know you remember this, but that it's not just my favorite Diamonds experience. It's one of my favorite tournament experiences of all time is when the Diamonds was in St. Paul, Minnesota. Now it was 2007 was the last time we were there. So quite a while. All right. But
there was a lot of
go deep into that, what that is. We'll have another show for that maybe some other time. But
yes, but what I'm saying, Alex, is there were some things that safety wise, I think that needs to be addressed as far as location, right?
Yep.
Here's the deal. When you go out the hotel, go left, don't go right.
Okay. Let me speak on that. So
because listen, both nights, Thursday night and Friday night, there were some shootings. So on the right side of the hotel, not the left. So
Yeah. So here's what
anyways,
that means. So what that means is when you head like deeper into like
3 or 4 in the morning.
what's the best way to put it? Fluffy downtown. Fluffy downtown means like there's the Hilton, there's the W, here's Brit's Pub, there's Manny's Steakhouse, here's Murray's, there's all these nice places. And then on the other side is like, here's La Cucaracha, which is actually a name
Right.
of a restaurant there. There's literally, the name of the restaurant is The Cockroach. But anyway,
There you go.
I mean, that should let you know, don't go that direction. But yeah, I do like the location. It's nice, it's fun, it's cool. But
Yeah.
and then in St.
Nice
Paul,
hotel.
there's really not a lot of other things to do. But the other things that you do when you're at a karate tournament is you go to this restaurant, you go to that restaurant on Friday, maybe Thursday.
Yeah.
Because now we're there on Thursdays. Because there's never enough time on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
There's
Right.
never. So okay.
All right.
Yeah,
So again,
about the praise.
where are you going
Go.
to?
Well,
I'm just saying,
I
we
just
got.
felt like there
what are you
was.
gonna do?
We're doing it again, guys. We're talking over
Yeah.
each other. Jeff, you go.
I'm just saying, we're talking about the big winners first, is what we said. I knew we would get all over the place, but that's just what happens
All right,
when we
yeah,
talk
keep-
about
continue.
diamonds. But Kevin
You go.
Walker winning his 3rd diamond ring in a great fight with Sean Magallanes. So great job to Sean for making it on stage. I think this was his first time at a NASCA overall. Congrats to him. Congrats to Enrique on making it in the open weight. But man, Kevin Walker just looked on another level this weekend. And so, and then also to me, the big thing was Top 10 USA showing what we have all said all year long, that if they're not the best men's team, then they are pretty close up there. And
I mean,
you know, they
why wouldn't they
won.
be?
They went against everyone this weekend. So it was awesome to see that, and also awesome to see Mason Bumba stepping up and taking that spot, and he did a great job.
Some Bumbas for real.
Yeah. So like he's no longer doing forms, guys. He's just fighting, and he's doing a pretty awesome job at it. And we have
kinda
talked
bums
about
me
this on
out,
the
though.
show for years. Well, it bumps me out too, because I love watching his performances and his show,
Yeah.
and his bow and his forms. But we've talked about this.
He's legit.
If you can do all those things, imagine how the advantages athletically that you have over other fighters, right?
Listen,
And he has
I've said that so much, man, that the only bit of success I had, like a little bit of advantage, is because I had a few years where I was doing high level, we'll call it open forms at that time, or extreme, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And pretty much the fighters that I had, none of them did that. None of them, well, everybody kind of trained, has
Yeah.
the ability to do it. But when you're competing like that, you're at a little bit of a different level, right? Your martial arts skill is at a different level. And that's
Yeah.
what he has. I do think that he should continue to do that for a few years, right? Maybe he doesn't have to do it all the time. But if he just go like, all right, AKA, I'm going to do extreme weapons. Okay, cool. And then maybe it does it again in like, I don't know, like US Open, and then maybe one other time at like America or something. And then just does that.
right. Yeah.
I just think continuing to do that would be good for him.
Well, he's
That's
still
gonna be a
doing
fighter.
like the tricky. He's still doing the adrenaline circuit, and whenever they have events and battles and stuff with his weapons.
Which
So
is
he's
really
staying,
good.
and he does a lot of online teaching and coaching with that. So I think he's sticking with that. All right, women's side. Congratulations to another 3-time diamond winner, Katana Everett. Looked amazing this weekend. John Paul JPM won the women's teams with her and Katarina, and then Katarina won the open weight. So great job for JPM. As really in most cases they should be in the finals and win those things right now, right? So congrats to them. I'm going to tell you, like, Katana looked awesome in the finals, looked confident, and just a great overall performance for her. So
yeah, here's what I'll speak on and say that Katana looked like everybody else was competing for second.
Yep.
She looked like that. And what I was thinking that going into this fight, like, ooh, how's she gonna play this thing with Katarina? Right? How's she gonna play this thing? And I was really glad to see that she didn't really try to kick with Katarina, right? Because Katarina, her hips just started at a different level, and her legs are just bigger, right? They're just bigger, right? She's taller than you, right? So, but I also found it interesting. Now I'm on the stage, I'm right there watching it, and I remember thinking like, Katarina is not, she's not stopping Katana at all. She's just watching Katana do what Katana's doing. Like she's not really trying to stop her, in the sense that Katana was all over the ring, right? I remember feeling like I am running. I'm running because I didn't want to like only have like a little bit of an angle, like, oh yeah, no, I can kind of see over here. I guess if I lean my head up, I can kind of see. Like, no, I'm running. And I was kind of giggling to myself, like, if we were in the European side and we were in Waco, Katana would have got like so many penalty points, because what Katana does, and nobody stops her from doing it, she just spins. She'll just spin around. She'll just spin this way, spin this way.
I love watching it. I think it's cool.
It is so fun. All right.
Yes.
But when she does it so much. It's like Barry Sanders playing football, right? She just keeps spinning, right? But she would do it, and a couple times she would spin out and into like a punch too, which was really fun to watch.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things. I remember watching that at when she was fighting Katarina the first time at Ocean State this year, and I was like, "Yo, that was cool." And the thing is, you see, if you guys follow Katana on Instagram, you see what Katana, her other passion is, and that's skating. And you could see that when she fights, that with those spin moves and the movement and everything. It's really cool to see.
But it's really like roller dancing.
I knew that was coming.
But it's cool, man. Have you never went? Have you ever went to the skate rink before? You ever gone to a roller rink?
It's been a while. It's been a while since I have. Oh, I actually wanted to the other week, but yeah. I was never very good. I was a person that hung out at the video games, okay, because I didn't like falling down. I didn't like falling down that much, but yes, we are, Katana.
We're talking about your roller skating skills. That's what we're talking about, Katana.
But it's cool how I can see the you blended it, and it's awesome to see. So
yeah. So, okay, I want to mention something, because we're still kind of on topic, because you're talking about JPM versus JPM. Here's what I want to say. And I kind of feel like I've been the hardest. JPM's in a good spot, man.
Yeah. They are, man. They're in a great spot.
They're in a really good spot. They got a good future. And I said something around this time last year when I was very pessimistic after the Diamonds last year, towards the end of the year. And I'm like, man, I don't know. I was starting to get the feeling like, if we just keep trending this direction, like how many years do we have with the sport? 10, 15? Is it going to fizzle? If it continues to go like what we saw great athletes. That's what this comes from. It's the product. It's not the production. It's not things like Juventus, although that's great. It's not things like the finals, although that's very important. It's the actual product, the actual competition.
It's the actual competition, but also
like the competitors.
Yeah, and the stories that come from it, right? There's so many great stories that we're not even going to be able to get into, but just like the struggles that people go through, right? I mean, I know it because I live it, and so many other athletes do, right? And let's give a shout out to Joe Boone, just because he laid those mats. The rings were nicely laid mats. The Diamonds, impressive job. Thank you, Joe.
Joe does that. I have a gripe with Joe, though. You know what it is, though? Remember when I was telling you, Jeff, that I was like, listen, I was up here being like, It's late. I wish I would have got out of here. And then Troy ducked out like 40 minutes early. It's because Troy ducked out the moment Joe started telling a story because he knew this is going nowhere. And I stuck around for the whole story. And it was like it was like a 55-minute story.
You never do that with Joe Boone, all right? And I've only hung out with Joe Boone once, maybe twice. And I learned that the first time. I was like, wow, okay, buddy.
But it's entertaining, though, am I right?
Right. But it's no delivery is entertaining. Like the story may not be, but the way he says it, it's awesome. So
all right, let's get back to the tournament.
Yeah, so that was the fighting side of it. I think we talked about all that. The form side, man, you know what? Let's just go with the big winners who had multiples. Esteban Tremblay, really, man, like this dude is on fire. His first year as an adult, and he's won every major event there is.
Couldn't win the weapons though because he broke them.
But he won.
He broke his weapons this weekend.
Yeah, but he won the weapons diamond, buddy. So he won the weapons diamond, and then he also won the forms diamond. He did break his weapon, I think, in traditional and in another.
Oh, that's
and in
that's
team.
my bad. That's my bad.
So, yeah, and in teams he broke his weapon. So there was some times where that didn't happen. So, but awesome job, Esteban. He's really looking like just that you can see that drive and that determination to be the best. And so, congratulations to him. On the other side, let's talk about the senior diamond. I tell you, man, Kevin Kowalczyk came in there and dominated everything, went in a lot of divisions, pretty much every division, but maybe two. And so congrats to him, man. And, he's worked hard this year for that. So I'm super excited for him and happy for him. So congrats to him for winning that. I don't remember the names of the two 30-plus fighting grands. I know that one was a lady from Leclerc's. So congratulations to you. If someone knows her name, please put that in there. And then also Santiago, I believe his name. He's from Mexico. And he's had a great year in sport karate, winning many. So if you have those names, guys, put those down there as well. On the women's side, we have Haley Glass, who won her another ring, but this time in women's forms over, Samantha Miller. Thank you. And Santiago Averso. Thank you guys for putting those out there. And so Haley Glass winning the women's forms over Amber Rutherford. Women's weapons, a first-time winner. Congrats to Katie McMillan. Great job, girl. This was a really cool women's grand because it was just different because we didn't, the favorites didn't make it through the runoffs, and Katie was in there. But we got to see Monty Tomlin, who is Corky Sykes' niece. She's from my area. Of course, I've grown up watching her. Excited to see her make her first stage. And also Melina from Team Revolution making one of her, I don't think it was her first time on stage, but definitely at the Diamonds it was. So congratulations to all those.
About watching Katie McMillan win is she looked like the diamond ring was as important to her as it should be.
Yeah.
Like, could you see her? Well, you were probably training and I wasn't.
I was,
but
yeah,
she was,
prepared.
yeah, you were getting ready. You had more important things to do. I had to judge, which was basically nothing.
As I'm watching her. Very important though, too. Very important.
Right. So, but she was just like, couldn't stop it ear to ear. Now, everybody else, that's not to say that every other winner wasn't extremely happy and grateful, but she did look like this means everything that it should mean. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Let's continue. Go ahead.
And then the other one was, congratulations to Diego DG for winning the traditional overall grand. So awesome job. He's had a great year as well. And, for me, just it was a pleasure sharing the stage with him. And you know what? For me, all I can say is, I think it sounds better I guess it's just meant to be to where it sounds better that a 40-year-old won instead of a 39-year-old. So next year it'll be the time for me to win it. So
is it time? Wait, is it time yet for me? Or not time?
What to say?
Don't do it yet.
Don't do it yet.
Don't do
listen,
it yet.
I don't even know what you're
Okay.
gonna say, but
Yeah,
I
I know.
appreciate you, Alex. I appreciate you, Alex, for always being on my side, and thank you. But again, I was excited.
Before the show is over, it's going to be said. Just know, guys, as you're continuing to listen, don't tune out because I got some stuff to say.
Listen,
before the end.
all I'm going to say is just I love the sport, and I think it's in the right hands, you know, with all of us competing and going at it. So,
yes, two things can be true.
Yes. Who else? Am I missing any other adult diamond ring winners? I don't. Oh, yes. Sorry. Traditional weapons. Jake Presley. So Jake Presley,
That guy's intense.
won. He's intense, dude. And you know, you're talking about him going against someone also from his school. You know, these guys. You know, Dawson and him going head to head. Both kind of one-upping each other a little bit. One, you know, bringing out the rag and wiping it off with the sword, and then Jake wiping off the bow. So with his headband. So man, it's crazy. Yes, you are an addict. We are addicts of the sport, Andrew. He flew in at 5 a.m. from WKU just to compete. That wasn't even planned. So
dude, when I saw him, I gotta tell you this. When I saw him, I was mid-conversation with someone else. Because this time last week, we were on a podcast and he had just got to WKU and he's like, yeah, I'm going to be here for the week. And at a mid conversation with somebody, I look over and I see Andrew and I stop and I look back at who I'm having this conversation with. And I start to look around and I'm like, is there a glitch in the matrix? What is happening right now? And I start staring at Andrew. Andrew's talking like Bob Liker, which would make sense because, you know, team. And I'm looking at him like, am I thinking that's not Andrew? That certainly looks like Andrew. What is happening right now? How is this the case?
Right.
Yeah, guy just decides. But you know what? I loved it. If you didn't listen to last week's episode, we had Andrew on to really give us the inside scoop on what was happening with WKU. And Andrew was also a lover of the Diamond Nationals as well. So it was very appropriate to have him on Pre-Diamonds. And yeah, the guy just said, I don't know how many years I got left in this, you know, which seems appropriate, but then just decided I'm going to go.
Right. Did you do that? No. Yes or no? No. Okay. So no, Drew, you've asked it twice. So I just figured I'd put it up there. No. Yeah. So man, it was, to me, just honestly, it was a great Diamonds because there was a lot of people who made first time appearances, you know, on the junior side, there was some dominance, but then there was also some new faces. You know, congrats to, I'm always going to miss, congrats to Amanda Duarte, who won the forms side. She's from Team Revolution for the 13 under. For the girls, the boys, it was Luca. All right. Luca. No, sorry. Yes. That was the 14, 17. I'm trying to remember the 13 under. The 13 under side was Adominus, I believe. And then, or maybe it was Judah. I was kind of going back and forth. But yes, Luca. Hey, Anthony. Luca Riccotti won the 14 to 17 side. Also, the that was for forms for the female 1470 was Avery Presley, and she also won the weapons. For the 13 underside for the boys was Zeke Gomez, who I've been teaching over the past 3-4 months. So excited. He had a big weekend. And Brandon Caruso is his weapons coach. And I've just been kind of the person helping him with kicks and putting it all together at the end. So I'm excited about that. Who else am I missing? Yes, Piper Miller won the 13 under girls weapons. So I don't believe I missed anybody else on that side. So congrats.
Colin O'Brien had a pretty
yes, there we go.
Colin
O'Brien won the 14-17 weapons for the boys, and then Joe Troya won the 14-17 boys for form.
Forms.
So
Yeah.
yeah, there we go.
All
Yes,
right.
and Colin Klein's a hitter. I didn't get to watch him fight this time, but I tell you what, at DC, I love watching him fight. It was great.
I saw him fight. It was pretty
And
good.
again,
He was
guys,
good.
if you know who won like the grands for the fighting, for the junior fighting, put those in here. Okay. I know that Pia did win one. And I think Sebastian won one. I don't know about all the others, but if you guys want to put that in
So
here,
there's
that
the
would be
two
good.
junior boys, both on JPM. Both of them won.
No, you mean AKA.
No,
Colin
no.
and Joe are AKA. Yeah.
I'm talking about the fighting. I thought you, when you
Oh,
mentioned,
the
I thought you were
fight. Oh,
talking
my bad.
about
Yeah,
fighting.
that's what I said. I said Sebastian won one, and then so
Who's the other one?
why can't I think of his name right now? But from
It's gonna sound bad, but the white guy.
from Team United. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen.
Yes. So
okay, as long as we're talking about Sebastian, so that guy,
yeah,
he basically is Justin Ortiz. That guy looks
Jake. Yes,
like when
Jake.
he fights. Was it? Yes, Jake. Okay.
Jake
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The way he moves just like Justin Ortiz. He can't kick like him, but Justin was could move really well, like really well, and he moves literally just like the guy, like big time. He was all over the place. And I actually kind of went to Don one point, and I'm like, listen, your guy, bright future, bright, but all right. I want to talk about some stories. Can we talk about some stories?
For finals or the week or what? All of it.
For the
you can go
not the finals. For this story is not going to be the finals.
All right. Can we talk about one? Can we talk about the craziest moment?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to get to.
Yes. Yes. All right. So, yes, Samantha Miller. Yes. Congrats.
All right.
All right. Here we go.
Let me give you a little backstory. So, I'm there. It's Friday. Mr. Carnahan said, Alex, get here at 1:00. That's when the competition starts, and then you're going to judge all day. So I get there at like 12:50, and no, I was there like, I don't know, it was like 11:45 or something like that. And like it was like way early. And like I'm like, what is with all this competition going on? What is happening? Why is there so many people on the stage? Come to find out,
there was a lot.
Like, no, there was actually competition at 11 in the morning. What is that?
Yeah, Team Demo. And then
did not know about that. Right. Which Team Demo and Infinity won, and they had their best performance I've ever seen them have. They were very good. Okay. So, but anyway, so I didn't have anything to judge. And I'm like, listen, if I'm going to judge, because in this small niche sport, if I was judging and I wasn't like absolutely on my A game as far as effort went, I was never going to get this shot again. No one's ever going to let me judge again. And they probably shouldn't. So I'm like, listen, I'm going to take this extremely serious, and I'm going to bust my tail. So much so that I sweated through every shirt that I wore. Right. I couldn't believe, like, even for the finals, I'm like, I need to go upstairs and change my shirt after this. Right. So anyway, for real. So I'm judging. I'm taking it very serious. So I'm judging the 14-15 boys open weight. Okay. It's open weight, open rank, I think is what they called it. I think they called it open rank because they don't weigh. So there was a brown belt kid in there who was giving it to guys. But anyway, El Java's son is extremely talented. That guy is fantastic. There was another one division. So we're going to talk about a moment in which I pretty much had to DQ both fighters at the same time. Okay. The state that part of the stage has been set. Here's what happens. Okay. So the Talbot kids are involved. Very talented. They're from Texas. They're from Colby and Raymond's school in Texas. And they're fantastic fighters. Okay. So they keep up, they're going to be champions. 100%. Okay. They're all good. I don't know if I could, watching them all. Well, there's one I didn't. because I couldn't. But watching them both, there's I don't know if I would say one's better than the other, even though one's an adult and one's not. But anyway,
There's 3.
Oh no. Well, there's 3 of them. I know, but there's one that I couldn't watch. But don't let me get to the end. So, so anyway, one of them fights a cheeseburger. Okay, don't really know how good you are yet because he's not killing him, right? I actually, the way he's fighting, I'm like, I really don't know if you're good, right? Because you're fighting this guy and you're just kind of winning, like, and I wasn't like, like sliding him, but I'm like, I don't know if you're great yet, I guess we'll just see you in the next fight. Same scenario that I talked about with the men. Next fight, he's fighting, not this time, it's not a cheeseburger, but he's definitely not as good. And he's definitely doing a lot of things that are mistakes. And I'm like, I think you're fighting a guy who just does forms, right? Which turned out to be the case, right? Okay. He's not a guy who does forms and fights. Like, you're fighting a guy who just does forms, right? Which turns out the kid is actually pretty good at forms, right? So he's fighting him and he's beating this kid. We'll call him Forms Kid, right? Because I don't want to say his name, right? I know it. But he's beating him 6-0, right? And he Forms Kid is very frustrated. He doesn't understand why he can't score. He can't figure out what to do, right? It doesn't matter if this fight went on for 4 minutes, 5 minutes. He may not have ever scored, okay? So at one point, the Talbot kid blitzes and gets so low that he's on him, and now he's going to fall over. So the Talbot boy doesn't be a jerk. He doesn't like push him down so that he regains his own balance. He kind of like does the right thing and just kind of wraps him up, and they both just kind of fall to the ground, and he kind of rolls off to the side. So he's not laying on him. So he kind of rolls off to the side, but he's still kind of holding him because he wrapped him up so that he didn't crush him. So the Forms kid is so mad. Now I'm the corner ref in this match, right? I'm the way opposite corner. And this kid, Forms kid, is so mad. He's on his back, just swinging from the back. He's just pounding the Talbot boy in the face. He's just pounding him. And the Talbot boy is so shocked as to what's going on. He's not doing anything, right? He's just taking it, right? And it all happened so fast. Manny Reyes was the center ref, and he said stop. And as soon as he went down, and Manny just went to wipe his face, he was tired. He just went like that and put his head down. Just it literally was 2 seconds that Manny did that, and all of this happened within that time. And I tried to get Manny's attention, and all I did was go, and just kind of raise my hand in his direction, and everything happened. So the Talbot boy is getting punched in the face, like, might have been like 7 times, right? So the Talbot boy's brother is like 2 rows of people deep, right? Watching, jumps over everybody and separates the 2. Nobody stops him because he's separating them. This seems like a good idea. Except, and this boy is skilled, he separates them and then grabs the Forms boy, puts him in an arm bar, and is going to break his arm, right? Oh my God. And it happened so fast, right? So fast. And it all happened, and I am so glad where it happened. It all happened right in front of Aljaba's feet, right? So Aljaba Abdul Qadir, I wouldn't have believed this if I didn't see it with my own 2 eyes. Actually, I probably would. Grabs both of them, because Java's jacked, right? Grabs both of them by their uniforms, like right by their chest, and just picks them both up, right? And that's how Java separated them. He just grabbed them both, just picked them straight up in the air, and then just pulled his arms apart and separated them. And I couldn't believe this. And so I'm like, all right, get over there. The other kid, the Forms boy, now, he's kind of embarrassed, right? Because he was getting whooped. And he decided he's going to retaliate. So he starts hitting the guy. And then literally almost had his arm broken. So he gets so mad that he storms out of not just the ring, he storms out of the entire room, right? He runs away. What do I do with that, right? But now, what do we do with this scenario? This guy had someone from his side try to break his opponent's arm.
Right.
That jumped in the ring. what do I do about this? So I go to Manny and I go, Manny, I think we might have to disqualify both of them. I don't know what to do. So anyway, we get Greg Ruth, we get Rich Carnahan involved, and we basically come to the understanding that, all right, well, this guy didn't actually do anything wrong. In fact, he actually was trying to be the nicest. So if we disqualify him, we actually let the offender, we'll call him arm breaker, right, get off scot-free because he's the one who did all the offending. So we found out, like, hey, is this guy competing tomorrow? Yes, he is. So we're like, well, he's not anymore. He's disqualified from the tournament, which was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Crazy. Couldn't believe that. Now, you didn't see that, did you?
I didn't. I still haven't seen it yet. I've been trying to watch it on the stream.
Someone's got to have YouTubes of it.
Yeah, I mean, I know it was on there, but I got busy. I got caught up at the stage to compete while I was trying to watch it. Two of your buddies were showing it to me. So, but yeah, so it's just wild, man. That's just the craziest story, I think. What ring was it?
I think it was like ring 5.
It was 4.
I think that's the ring it was in.
The 5, I thought it was 4. But yeah.
Was it 4? Maybe you're right. It was one of them.
Yeah. So
I was tell how invested I was in the
that
ring
was
number.
wild. So definitely a wild and crazy moment there. Yeah, Sam says it was 4. He saw it.
Okay.
All right. What's another one that you were that you wanted to share about? You had another story? Was that the main one?
I'll let you go.
I can't.
You go. I do, but you go.
I'm trying to think what I had. I've kind of gone blank now. I know that the biggest thing was for me, and I think we hopefully can get rid of this in our sport is and I don't know if it's been in our sport for years, right? And it's when we are being told, when the judge is told, hey, this is how you need your top 4, you need to give 1-6, 1-7, 1-8, 1-9, right? And that the judge is like, you know what? I've been in this since 1962. You don't tell me what to do. I'll do my own thing. And he gives 6 6s. All right. So here we go. He's dancing with the devil, and he just thinks he can do whatever he wants. Didn't give an 8, but gave 6, 7, and 9. And so it messed up a lot of things. And you know what? I mean, did the right person win? I don't know. I didn't watch the whole division, but I watched the scoring, and it was wild. And that wasn't like the only time things like that happen. And so that's something that we really just we gotta make sure some way there's a way that has to be policed somehow. So yeah. So that was
the hard part is that the hard part about that is the only way to do that is to pull that person out. But then if you pull that person out, that's the thing that we don't have a plethora of is guys lining up to do a lot of judging.
This tournament, though, I don't think we had a problem at all finding judges, though, this term. I really don't. I feel like everything ran so smooth. Now, granted, I don't know how many NK schools there still are, but there's a lot of black belts to pull from, right?
Well, let me give you insight on that. They will handle most of like the single A black belt competition and the underbelts. Mr. Carnahan and Greg Ruth, they take care of the black belts, like the real NASCA black belt divisions.
Right.
So there are other guys that can do that, but I mean, they got to get screened. So there was a few times where I was there and I think it was Rick Presley. Yeah. He's like, Alex, you got to go take care of that guy because he's calling late or something like that. Oh, you know what division? Here's a funny one. Here's a little funny throwaway comment. You know, it's the one division that I got called out of that they would not let me judge.
Oh,
Japanese form.
Oh, yeah.
They wouldn't let me judge Japanese form, which I thought was funny. And Mr. Carnahan came up to me right when it was about to take place. They go, Alex, we're going to take you out of this division. I'm like, all right, cool. And that literally was my stance for the whole weekend was like, I am here to do whatever you feel like I'm here to do. If you want me to score keep, I am here to score keep. If you want me to center the finals, cool. I'm whatever you feel like I could be useful for. And he was like, no, you can't judge Japanese form because everybody thinks you hate Japanese form, which actually doesn't really make sense, because if that's the case, like everybody is doing Japanese form. So number one, I just from the start, just don't understand why Korean stylists do Japanese form for the traditional form for preference. That's really all it is. Right. But I just thought, actually, I'm pretty equal opportunity when it comes to this division, but all right, continue. No problem. I'll go have a sandwich.
The division was the girls 14-15 traditional weapons. That's what it was. That happened.
What was that? Oh yeah.
I just giving all the random stuff. Now, another thing that was crazy that happened in the 10-11 female division that on Saturday, okay? And I actually don't think it was an issue with the judges. It was just that the competition was so heavy and all three judges had completely flip-flop, which is the only way that it can be a tie. A real tie is if there is it's a three-way tie, right? And so
yes, I did know about this.
Traditional weapons, in the traditional weapons, they tied like 3 times because the judges were just saw it completely flip-flop. There's 3 competitors. They had to bring in 2 more judges to finally get rid of it, right? Guess what? They did the same thing in forms, and they had to bring in another one to get it done. So in this case, I think it was just that. Congratulations to those divisions, because those girls are working their butt off. All right.
Yeah.
And it's an awesome division with great competitors. So
when I heard that there was like a legit like 3-way tie and they had to run it off and then they had to run it off again, I got excited, and then I saw just disappointment and anger in the faces of the family members involved. And and they weren't going to get it, so I didn't say anything. And I'm like, I mean, you guys should be excited. Like this is like a throwback. This is what we did. This is what we used to do when there was a tie. Run it back. But okay.
I've been in those many times as a kid. Damien loves your jacket as well.
Okay. Dude, I like Damien's coaching. I'm going to tell you that. Damien's got a good thing going. He's really good.
He is. He's doing great.
And he's got cool hair. Speaking of cool hair, he's got this kid on his team that has the coolest mullet ever.
Yes.
I even said it to him. I even said it to this kid twice. I was like, dude, you have really cool hair, right? Damien's got some cool braids going, but this kid, his mullet, it was like past his shoulders. It was intense. Like it had its own personality.
Yeah. All right. Favorite form or 2 forms from the finals or even from the weekend?
You want me to go there?
Cesar Aguilar. Awesome.
Oh, is that the kid? Yeah. Well, he's got hair that I envy. All right, Jeff, you really want me to go there? I'm about to go there.
Yeah, all right. That was cool, Kevin. That Sam honoring Kevin Thompson. Definitely cool. Yeah. And JPM was there to do that. That was really cool. So, and yes, remember his name. He's a good kid, Damon. You're right. All right, top moments that we witnessed. Do you want me to go first, just so that I'll go with one of? Well, honestly, every time that men's, I'm just going to tell you, watching Dawson Holt, Ben Jones, and Esteban Tremblay put on a show, it's just awesome, man. And it really just, for me, there's sometimes that the junior divisions have maybe more entertaining stuff, right?
Like they're deeper.
Or maybe deeper, or actually are doing more difficult things. Right now, you don't want to go into the 18+ divisions for CMX, weapons, especially any of that. Like it's insane right now. And there's like 20 to 22 that are all high level, kicking everyone's butt. And I tell you what, it was awesome to see. And honestly, like it's so tight that everyone, you talk to one person, they thought Dawson should win. You talk to someone else, they thought Ben should win. You talk to someone else, Esteban should win. It really could go either way, and it was really awesome to see. So,
yeah, and I agree with you. Like I thought Ben should have won, but like you're like exactly what you said. Someone's got to lose. Someone's got to
yes.
win, and they're so good. I actually had this thought. It's so funny you mentioned this, Jeff. I actually had this thought, and sometimes in this sport we get so caught up in the moment that
Mhm.
we forget about historic moments. Like sometimes we're very good about remembering, like, oh, historically there's this, and then oh, this typically means that. Like, I think we
Yep.
should make the Triple Crown a bigger deal, and I think we should bring it back, right?
Yep.
But I actually had this thought, and I was like, when is this the men's weapons division been like this? And I started thinking about like with Kalman and Matt Emig and like, I don't know, maybe who was there, like Austin Jorgensen, but I don't think he was really going to be either one of those guys, you know, like
With weapons, yeah. I
I don't
mean,
know.
you also Mark as well. I mean, there was a lot of
Yeah,
times where
but
they were high
I
level.
think
So
this is better.
yeah,
And I not
right now.
only did I think this is like right now is better, I actually started thinking, I'm like, let's say 6 years from now, they're all just like, you know what? I got this thing, right? I got this family. I can't do this the same way anymore. Or I just started this company. I can't
Mhm.
really going to be better than what it is right now because right now it's so good. I've never seen anything like
Honestly,
this type of competition, like that specifically.
to me, I mean, the only thing I can compare it to is John, Mike, and Carmichael, honestly. Like, and to me, I think
I knew it.
they deserve
Yes.
honestly, because they're young, like they were there, and they're making an impact, but in the weapons world. So, I mean,
But we
that's
didn't have
a
that
huge
many years with those three competing, right? We didn't have that many
No,
years.
that's what I mean. So who knows? So enjoy it while you can, guys. So, all right. What was yours? What was one of yours?
All right, here it goes. I said kind of throughout the year that I thought your Moon Moo performance from the Diamonds last year was a pivotal one. And because of that, I believe that because of that was a big reason why we now have the traditional challenge or the Korean challenge. Okay. So your Moon Moo performance this time was way better. Way better. All right.
Finally watched it today.
And you watched it and you agree. You're like, wow, this
It
this
is,
was a lot better. It was way
but
better.
it's just
And
gonna get way
Diego had
better.
a fantastic performance. Okay. But as you can tell by the tone in which I'm speaking, I do not think Diego should have won. And I don't. Okay. And I'm not saying anything bad about Diego. There's not. Diego had a fantastic performance. You were just better in every possible way. Right. In every that's the thing is I'm trying to like objectively think about it. Because it was 1/100, he got 4 9s and you got 3. Okay. So you go,
Yeah.
one person, you win the ring. But it's like, okay, I rack my brain on it. I cannot envision a way where any one of those 7 look at those 2 performances and go, yeah, that one's better. I can't fathom it. I cannot understand. In every way I try to dissect it and lay it out, it does not make sense. That's how much better your performance
Dude,
was.
yeah,
I'm just saying. No, Diego, you didn't do anything wrong. You had an amazing performance. You had a great form. Diego, I just think Jeff was better. That's it. You're a diamond ring winner. And forever. Jeff just had a better form.
He deserved it. No, he deserved it. So
Yeah.
there's things that I saw that I of course can improve. So for me, the thing is that I guess though the way the year has been though, right? Honestly, you can see it that way. For me, in my mind, I'm just like, I hope I just get a 9, because all year long I feel like I've done pretty darn good too, and I've gotten 7s, or even got a 6 one time, and I'm like, what is going on here? And so, there were some judges who all year long have given me 7s and gave me 9s. So I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. So I'm just going to keep doing my job and going. And again, like I said, sounds cool. If I would have won it as a 39-year-old, I think it's going to sound even cooler to win it as a 40-year-old. So, and then,
what sounds cooler? Winning as a 39-year-old and a 40-year-old.
Well, yeah, that would have been too, but you know what I'm saying.
But, yeah.
Hey, but no, I don't have any. For me, man, Diego has had an awesome year. So I'm excited for him to win it. He deserved it. And then also for him to go right after that and do his musical form. I've been there on that with in Super Grands before, doing like my open form and going right in to do Korean or vice versa. So he did an awesome job. And no, I don't have any hard feelings or anything. I just know for me, my only thing is just that I know like what I have to do every tournament now to even get a shot or to get close. And that can be a little frustrating when you have to do the hardest form in your style to even have a shot, right? But it is what it is, and that's just what it takes. And that's my story right now. We'll see what happens moving forward. So,
and that's the other thing
all good.
I just don't think people understand is like they just see your foot in the air, and I think they just kind of take it for granted, like that's just like, oh yeah.
And then also thing. Doing
it's
that,
nothing about that is normal. Nothing whatsoever.
As your last event or your last form of the whole weekend when you've done 6 or 7 already, right? So that part is hard. So, but it's all good.
All right, I do want to talk about some fights, or some other fights.
Yes, let's do that real fast. We got about 2 minutes.
Well, we're gonna go over.
Yeah.
So, listen, I was there was some fights because I was like watching everything. There was some fights where I was just like watching, and there's a lot of them where I was a ref for. So I was watching like some of the men's team fights, and I watched Team Top 10 and JPM fight. And thanks, Mom. My mom's giving me updates on the Vikings Niners game. Vikings are up with like no offensive weapons. This is fantastic. This is good. All right. And I was watching, and Tyreek had a great match against Cam Dawson, right? He had a great match. And that was the first round matchup for men's team, which was amazing. So I was just a spectator for that. And I'm like, wow, he went right into it. Now I was the center ref for his division the next day. And so then I was like, I just kind of happened to say to him passing, like before the division started, I was like, hey man, you look good last night. And he said, he goes, not good enough. I'm trying to win a diamond today. And I'm like, damn, all right. And I didn't want to say like, I don't want to continue the conversation because I didn't want it to make it look like, oh, I'm rooting for you, or like, yeah, you're doing great. I didn't really want it to make it seem that way because I would be a little upset if the center referee in my division is now chatting it up and praising the guy that I now have to go fight. That looks bad, right? So I didn't really continue the conversation. So this just tells you how overly respectful some of our guys can be. Is this story right here? Tyreek is head and shoulders above everybody in this division. I think it's light welter, 150s. He is destroying everyone. Okay. First place fight is he and Luis Nunez. And for the first minute and 34 seconds, he has Luis Nunez shut out. It is 6-0. And everything Luis is trying, Tyreek is just eaten apart, or he's just not around for it. All right. Yeah. And I'm like, wow. In my mind, I'm thinking like it's over because he goes, I'm trying to win a diamond. In my mind, I'm like, the diamond looks like it's yours. And Luis lands 4 straight kicks. I could not believe it. I could not believe what I was watching. I was right there for it. Tyreek responds right back. All right. Gets a couple more. Luis pulls ahead. I'm like, what in the world happened? What just happened right here? Just tells you why. Hey, if you guys were ever worried about, is the fights too long? Once we get to 5 or 6 or 7, like they're pretty much going to win anyway. No, like we were 1 minute and 34 seconds deep into the fight. He's 6-0 and didn't win that match. I could not believe it. Now, here's the one thing. I actually thought Tyreek gave up his momentum. He's overly respectful. This is where I was starting. He knocks Luis to the ground in some way. I can't remember how he got knocked down to the ground. So he gets knocked down to the ground. And I think someone was motioning. It looked like someone was motioning in his direction for a point. I wasn't calling any point. And I'm about to say go. And Tyreek goes, no. He has a point. And I'm like, I don't think so. And he goes, no, stop. Someone had a point for him. And I go, all right, guys, call for a point. And there was nothing. And I remember thinking like you just gave up all your momentum, man. You just stopped, right? Yeah. And then that's when he went kick. I was like, you couldn't even make this up, right? I was dumbfounded. I was shocked, right? So, it would have been cool to see that. And, after someone goes, I'm trying to win a diamond, and then they actually do it, like that would have been amazing, right? And he was amazingly skilled.
He was in the back after they won teams, and he was all like, I was like, yeah, man, you could, congrats. Like, man, I didn't come here for this. I got 3 of these. This is my 3rd team one. I didn't come here for none of this. I came here to win a diamond. And you know what? I'm not doing it. I'm pissed, And then there was like the silent. He was like, so because of that, you guys okay if I keep all the money? It's the funniest thing. So that was funny, right? He was passionate about it, man. He was, and so, I love seeing that. Because I think I get that completely, with this. So, and DG, thank you, my friend. Thank you for saying that. The other thing cool about, like, I met DG at the Mexican Open. I think it was 2000. Him and his family, 2015 in Acapulco. They came to a tournament. I don't think they've ever done like an NBL tournament before. They came here because it's Acapulco. It's a lot of fun, and I met his family, and it's cool to see where he's at now. And we're competing on stage against each other at most of the event. So really cool. I guess that will happen for a while, I believe. For most people that I've seen as kids, I've probably competed against, when you've done this for 35 years, I guess you kind of compete against everybody. So
here's one thing I want to tell people. If you're going to the Diamond Nationals and you want to experience, how do I say this? If you want to experience not just a good karate tournament, but a great deal of entertainment that will be long lasting, go a day early. Hang out with Joe Boone. He'll take you out and you'll go do some karaoke together. And I'll guarantee you it'll be the time of your life, right? This guy can do karaoke roulette. Like you pick the song and he'll do it, right? Do you know that?
I haven't hung out with him with karaoke. I want to do that.
You gotta do it. He does this. Fun. You know that song. What the heck is it called? It's that song by Macklemore, like "Can't Hold Us," like where the ceiling can't hold us. I think that's the name.
Yeah. Thanks, Chris.
He does that song without looking at the words.
Wow.
And he goes fast in that song, right? Let me see what it is, what it isn't. Like I don't know what the heck he's saying. Right? Apparently Jeff or Joe does. Right? It was amazing. Yeah, it was such a fantastic time. That's awesome. Joe does not say no to a great karaoke time. All right. So if you want to do that, you guys fancy yourselves a good time, go there. Find Joe Boone. He's probably not going to say no.
No, probably not. Yeah, it was a fun weekend, man. It was a long weekend, but it was a fun weekend. And I tell you what, there was a lot of great moments, a lot of great, for me, team moments. This was like the first time where we had like all the coaches together from Revolution, and it
Yeah.
was really cool to be there for that. And for me, I put a post out today of just people who took the extra time to come and say, like motivate me, keep me focused. You know, it was really cool to also when I don't know if you noticed this like during the men's Korean division because you were kind of busy, but like I'm
It's good.
sitting next to here and I don't know, it's weird. I don't know if anyone else gets this, but like after the people come and do their performances, even though I'm competing in this division, most of them come and ask me for like advice and help, and so it's really just really, really funny. It's just like, and I never thought I'd be like the old guy, but I guess I kind of am now. It's really, really
You
funny
know
how
what
that
that
works.
reminds me of?
And I think
That
Joey's
reminds
like
me
that too in the Japanese division, actually. I think some people are
Yeah,
like that.
that makes a little bit of sense. That reminds me of, did you ever watch the Dream Team documentary?
Yes.
Do you remember, like, the stories where they would be like, "Yeah, we played, like, Angola," and then, like, some guy came up and was like, wanted to shake hands with Charles Barkley or wanted to shake hands with Michael Jordan before the game started and take pictures
Yeah.
with him. It's kinda the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah. 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 It's
Yeah.
kind of fun. I never thought it would be like that. So I know for me, like I take it just as respect. And it was really cool just to meet a lot of people who listen to our show and and meet a lot of people who watch, videos, seen us at tournaments. It was really cool. I feel like everyone at the Diamonds that judges or whatever, like listens to our show. If you look at the numbers of our podcast, we have a lot of people that listen from Minnesota and Illinois, which makes sense. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah.
But so many came up and just, like literally listen every freaking week. And sometimes I'm
Yeah.
thinking, I've had people go, "Oh, your numbers are getting low, or you guys don't have as many views." And I'm like, okay, man, whatever. Who cares? I really don't. I care about like we love doing this. We have fun. And I hope that I feel like we've helped the sport in a lot of ways and given people a voice and sharing that. And we've seen a lot of changes, things that we've talked about that are now actually coming to fruition. So I'm blessed, man. I love it. One
It's
person
been
even
a
asked
great
me,
time.
like, one person even asked me, "Hey, did you get a new car?" And I told him what type of car. The guy was like, "That fits your personality." Great. I'm like, I'm just meeting right now. How do you know this? How do you feel like you know my personality? Like, I listen to you every
Because you
week. I'm
talked
like,
about it on the
all right.
show.
Yeah, it's pretty
Well,
cool,
wait, you
right?
didn't even
So,
tell me, what car did you get? Did you get that Infiniti?
oh, no, I didn't get the Infiniti. I got an Enclave. So a Buick Enclave, which works well
Oh,
for
that's
me.
a
It's
good car,
huge,
though.
but yeah, so it's huge, man. It's probably bigger. I did try the Infinity, the one I sent you, and I
That's a
felt like it
big
was
one.
just too big for me, but it was big. But the Enclave wasn't much smaller, so it's great. Yes, sir. You too, sir. It was great seeing you, Mr. Osborne. Man, there's so many cool
So
things about all of this, man. So
there were a lot
go
of
ahead.
great there was a lot of great conversations that we had where people were just saying, "Hey, listen to the show." And I started thinking about something else that I'll bring up that you'll be like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that." I do appreciate when people are like, "Hey, like what you say on the show." I also would appreciate if someone was like, "Alex, you don't know what the hell you're talking about," right? Because that's also likely the case. There's no way I can know
Yeah,
exactly. I can be right
yeah,
about everything. I can't be, right? So, and I am
exactly.
okay with the reality. Wow, 22, 14 Vikings, go purple. Let's do it,
Wow.
right? But um Jeff, remember when we had like a bunch of reviews going on the podcast?
Oh, yeah. So, guys,
I told you I was going to
yeah,
get you. What's up with that,
let's go
guys?
ahead.
Don't forget 5 stars, baby. 5 stars. Go ahead. Just like that. Come on. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Review the podcast. Go on, whether it's
Go to Apple.
Spotify,
Go to
Apple
Spotify.
Podcast. I think we got a lot of them on Apple Podcast. Just go on there, drop those 5 stars, like, follow,
Share it.
subscribe. Some people were leaving actual reviews and actually giving comments on them. We need some more of that.
We'll get back to reading them too. So this was fun, man. Anything? I feel like we're always missing something. I'm sure as soon as we didn't talk about that, but we try to hit on everything. And honestly, like this has gone better than I thought, really. So, Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Patrice, she's on it.
Yeah.
Say thanks, Mom.
Okay. Here's something cool. I got. Oh man, this is so awesome. All right, Jeff, check it. Right. So, I had, and this is totally my personality. I had this company do my Christmas lights.
Oh yeah.
Because my house is pretty tall. I literally do not own a ladder that could go to my roof, right? So they just did my Christmas lights now. And I'm not kidding you. I'm looking at because they just sent me these pictures. It literally looks like the house from Home Alone. This is so awesome. I'm gonna send it to you right now. Yeah, I'm not even joking. Awesome. I'm gonna send it to you right now. Hang on. Tell me when you get it. Did you get it?
Whoa! All right, that's sick, man.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it look like it?
It does look like it. That's cool.
That's what really I'm saying, man. Oh wait, no, there is a moment. And Nate Thorne just chimed in, dude. Nate Thorne got engaged in the Diamonds finals.
He did. He got engaged.
No, congratulations, Nate. But how has this become where the Diamonds is like the place for love? How many marriage proposals have happened on the Diamond stage?
No, man.
I think I can name 3 of them. Right?
Yeah.
That Nate did it. The Leclercs did it, and Sangao.
Yeah. That was cool.
This is
definitely cool.
The Diamonds is the tournament for love.
It's where you break out the diamond. So makes sense. So
okay. One thing, nice. Pun intended.
So as some of you know, like I like to drink. As I was getting made fun of all weekends, like definitely, Jeff, you've definitely old. You're walking around drinking tea, herbal tea all weekend. Everyone else is drinking alcohol. I'm sitting around drinking herbal tea, right? Huh?
But you're gonna scream your face off. You have to, otherwise you're not. Otherwise, your voice is gonna sound like Mike Welch by the end of the weekend.
So, what I love is, and I think it's a good way to end it, is like, I love reading what's on the little tags, right? And so this one just says, "Accept the challenge you are facing. It may become your greatest gift." And I think a lot of us need to do that. And that's what's awesome about sport karate, is that we have a lot of struggles and challenges. And some people think, man, I'm sorry, you just never, it's never going to happen for me. It's never this and that. Maybe I need to quit. No, like, accept the challenge. It's going to be your greatest gift. Get through it. That's how we all grow. And that's how, that's what God's put. He doesn't give us anything that we're not able to handle. So,
boom. Because the small success that you're envisioning may not be the success he wants for you. Right?
Exactly.
And yeah, I mean, who knows? There's so many things that are happening, man. And I thought about it too. Like, listen, my favorite fighter is Jason Borelli. Never beat the guy. Closest I came was my last fight when I beat him in regulation 9-8, and then lost in overtime. And I'm like, is that a victory? Does that kind of count? Would it counted this year? Does it count? No, it didn't beat him. Never came close to Ray. I was, in the same time frame as them, Trevor, even Jotty. Right? Took L's to all of them. Right? So what am I? Nothing, man. I got to fight in what I believe the greatest era of fighter, and I feel amazing about it. Right?
Exactly.
And it's gonna happen. So, and if your small win, right, for that weekend doesn't mean nothing, right?
No.
You think Tyreek Saint's you think he's upset? He's pissed that he didn't win. But look at that, right? Like, I'm just using that as an example because when he said, like, I'm here for the diamond, like, you didn't get it. Like, okay, you have a lifetime of martial arts left.
Correct. But think about all the people that he has. So many of us have inspired because of us going after what we want to, right? Going after our goals and our dreams. So that's where the win is. So Boom.
Look at this. Now we get sappy. I'm getting.
I know.
Oh no! There's one last thing. If we're not long enough, I got to tell you, this one was kind of funny. This is a funny little moment that happened in the finals. So I'm waiting to go up. I think I told you about this, but I'm gonna say it on the show. So
yeah,
it was. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the men's heavyweight final and for the diamond, and I was gonna ref it or something like that. All right, and they one of the security guys was like, hey, you need to take a seat right now, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
okay. And there's only one seat that's open near me, and it's Julie Swold, right? It's sitting right next to it. And Julie Swold is like the vice president of like advertising or marketing for Paul Mitchell products, right? So I ask her, I go, hey, is it all right if I sit here for a moment? She goes, sure, go ahead. And then I sit down, and her boots, her shoes, wow, right? These were like blue, green, turquoise, like bedazzled rhinestones, like blinging. And I'm like, whoa, your boots look cool. And then, of course, she said something about the jacket, which I did not think was going to be a thing, but it was a thing. She's like, oh, I like your jacket. And I'm like, I said in my head, I guarantee my jacket costs pennies compared to these boots.
Yeah, I know, right?
We're there, and I said hi. I introduced myself. My name's Alex. She said, my name's Julia. So I know who you are, but we've never got a chance to meet. I was gonna tell you, I praise a lot of people on your team already who are in management, but you guys got a really good thing going. I love the future of your team. And she says, we had to make some choices, and we're really excited about the youth on our team and the direction everything's going, and we're just really happy. And I go, Julie, host this little podcast thing where we talk about martial arts. And she giggled and like, I don't know. And I said, well, I know. So, guys, can we speak this into existence together? Can we get Julie Swold and Chris Rapold on to the podcast? Let's get a dynamic duo. Can we just speak this into existence? How cool would that show be? Am I right?
That would be. Let's do it.
All right.
Awesome.
It's been a fun one.
All right.
A long one, but well deserved.
Thank you for all the support, guys. Thanks for chiming in. Let's do it.
This has been another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. See you guys next week. God bless you all.